PRO Media Network. You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Get ready. It's time for the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Telling you everything you need to know about the Saints, Pelicans, and a whole lot more.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. We have DC chiming today in podcast 295. That's right, 295 on the podcast. As we keep moving along, man, it's getting close to the end of the year here, man. We're about to get to 2019. But happy holidays to all the terrific Who-Dats, Black and Gold, Sports Coma family, everybody, man. Happy holidays to you guys. I hope y'all having a swell holiday season, man. As the Saints, man, they're giving us a real treat around this time, man. They've taken care of business. Winners of 3 in a row since that stupid loss to Dallas. Sealed up the first round bye throughout the playoffs. Took care of business, sealed up the NFC South as well. And the Saints, man, they were everything that we anticipated them to be this year when we were calling these podcasts. Of course, the Sports Coma going into its 4th season coming up in 2019, man. And we're proud to bring you nonstop talk on the Saints on this episode. So thank y'all for joining us today on the Sports Coma episode 295. In this edition, we'll be talking about the Saints, giving you the latest news, and also we'll preview the Saints and Panthers matchup coming up. A lot of news from the Saints this week, man, dealing with Ben Watson, Teddy Bridgewater. We have an injury report that we're going to hit you with in inactives, and people that's going to be playing according to some of the reports that we assembled. We also have some Saints signings and releases we want to make you aware of. The Saints made. We also have the Sports Coma question of the day, which is a customary thing we do on each show. We present the Sports Coma question of the day. And a lot of stuff going on today, but also have interviews from Coach Payton. He'll chime in with his thoughts about Week 17 coming in. Of course, Drew Brees will also comment as well, coming into the final regular season matchup about perhaps what he'll play, if he'll play. Of course, I know Drew wants to play a little bit. He's still trying to push his season numbers up a bit, so they deserve it, man. So why not for a few snaps allowing them? We'll see how that goes. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Welcome aboard, everybody, new and established people. Thank y'all for joining us today. DC, my friend, what's going on today?
Oh, everything is everything, man. Feeling great. Ready to get my late Christmas, early birthday present. My birthday in February, if you know what I mean.
Yep, man, we got to get this thing here going, man. It's the Saints are doing a terrific. Like I said, it's been a treat for everybody coming to this one. And we're going to start it off, man, by basically going into the preview in this game. Now, a lot of inactives for this game. Have conflicting reports saying who's going to be available. I heard about Ted Ginn Jr. is not supposed to be there. They're going to shelve him, and we're going to definitely see some more Traquan Smith. And Traquan need to definitely get some more reps because he's been looking real stiff and scared lately. But outside of him, Teddy Bridgewater, we heard about him stepping up to the plate. So before we get into the preview, let's at least know who the hell playing in this hit thing. So what inactives you have for us today, DC?
Well, basically, you got Ted Ginn Jr. I'm thinking he's been limited in practice. I mean, basically, we got to go off of the people who's limited and who's not. Ted Ginn Jr. has been limited in practice, so I don't think he'll be showing up. You pretty much got a whole offensive line to choose from with our other players. I mean, you got Tyron Armstead, of course. Everybody knows he's battling that bicep injury. He went out the game again. It's not looking very good, but maybe it's just a minor setback. It's not a lot of talk on that. Larry Walford is combating a knee, so he's probably going to be out. The reserve tackle, Jerome Bushrod, the guy who's supposed to back up Tyron Armstead, he got hamstring issues. None of these three practice. But you do have a guy like Von Bell who has a quadricep injury that he's battling, but he was limited in practice, so you may see him. And Ryan Ramczyk, who also has this issue with his shoulder. We had a whole lot of Brett during the game just this past weekend when he went down. It's like, oh, no, not him. That's probably the, I guess, second best guy out of Max Unger without Tyron Armstead out there. But he got back up and continued the game, but he's still battling that shoulder injury, so maybe he gets some rest. And y'all know Drew Brees ain't playing. If we had our way, we would see very little of Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas as well. I think Ingram probably should get a little more work. You said Traquan need to get some work. And the whole Saints defense, I'm not hearing about anybody not being healthy, so they're going to be game-time decisions. We're going to see what Dennis Allen wants to do with that. But I'm sure Big Q is going to be begging to see Ken Crawley play number one corner, right?
Man, I sure hope they don't put Ken Crawley out there, man. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. You know, I was kind of skeptical about P.J. Williams, but, you know, P.J. Williams, I try to kind of monitor my praise of P.J. Williams. It seems like as soon as you give P.J. too much credit, all of a sudden P.J. starts screwing up. So I try to limit that. But Ken Crawley, man, they just disappeared him, man, to the depths of the secondary, to the depths of the secondary bench. But anyway, the dungeon, you know, like the beer commercial, the wine cellar. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic we want to talk about dealing with this game. And, of course, the Saints taking on Carolina once again. Now, Carolina, of course, they didn't look right, man, with Cam Newton in there against the first time the Saints played them. And, you know, they got that close win. This time around, a lot of people, possibly new quarterbacks. They had a guy that played last week for them, Taylor Hinkie. He was ruled out of this game. He was hurt in last game. So they got another young quarterback that'll be playing in the game. It's still odds whether or not Christian McCaffrey played. There's a record that he's trying to get. They're trying to get him his little yardage. He needs 4 receiving yards to join Alvin Kamara to become the only 2 players in NFL history with 1,500 career rushing yards and 1,500 career receiving yards in the first 2 seasons. So I guess Ron Rivera would be looking to kind of give him that at the end of the day.
He also needs 75 to hit 2,000, so I think he probably wants to hit that career milestone. And wouldn't it be crazy that him and Alvin Kamara, him having 2,000 yards and not being in the Pro Bowl, and Kamara having 16 touchdowns and not in the Pro Bowl?
I'll tell you what, man. If that happens, that should be motivation in his heart to come out and just explode. Because the first couple of years, you got to look at it. Alvin Kamara's been living the NFL dream. You know how extremely difficult it is for a rookie player to come in the league, win Rookie of the Year, then follow up with his sophomore performance better than the first year, when a lot of people were actually keying in on him the second year, knew who he was, and still do it again.
Too, man. So I mean, it don't even look like he was trying that hard this year. Last year, I had seen moments where it looks like it was a little hard for him. This year, it's like everything was just easy, effortless.
It's pretty much what it is. And now that Alvin Kamara, man, didn't get that Pro Bowl, that'd be more motivation for him. But the deal is, like some of our smart commenters said, and followers said of the show, said that, you know, a lot of guys are not focusing on those Pro Bowl bids. They're trying to get that Super Bowl bid. So if you're playing in a Pro Bowl, 9 times out of 10, you're not playing in a Super Bowl. So that's a good point. That really is a good point. So I guess that definitely is a bigger vision than the actual Pro Bowl, which is an individual achievement, to get the ultimate team award in pro sports, which is the Super Bowl. So I got to definitely commend those guys. Now, as far as the preview and the breakdown of the game, Teddy Bridgewater is supposed to play in this game. We don't know how much he's going to play.
Well, he's going to start, Big Q, so, I mean, I would imagine he's going to get a lot of work.
We got a lot of conflicting reports saying that Drew Brees is supposed to play a little bit in here before he plays. So yeah, we're not going to know exactly until when it happens. But let's listen to Coach Payton talk about what's going to, the matchup coming up with the Carolina Panthers. Here is Coach Payton.
Any questions relative to the game coming up?
Now that the week's mostly in bed, can you reveal your plan for playing starters?
Look, we're going to be smart, and yet our message all week is this is a chance for us to, get a 14th win, which has never been done before, and but I'm not going to go through the whole lineup. And Bridgewater will start at quarterback, and let's just leave it at that. He's had a good week of preparation, and he's thrown it really well. So it'd be good to get a chance to look at him.
What are you curious to? What do you want to see from him?
Just he's going to have a chance to play some more. His last games were in the preseason, but he's looked sharp all week. I think we've had a good week of practice, and certainly the players understand, how we want to approach this game.
John, how beneficial has it been having him running the scout team just all year?
Look, each week, depending on who you play, I mean, he's got exceptional arm talent. He's smart. Some of the throws he makes are pretty special. So forget just running the scout team. It's good to have depth at that position, and Taysom the same way. It's a good room.
Sean, what does it say about him? I mean, he sort of came in as a guy who's been a starter, but he's embraced his role and fit in with his locker room. What does it say about him?
Look, he's got all the traits you look for. So, he's pretty smart, and he understands short-term versus long-term, and he knows he's going to be a starter in this league, and I think it's both sides have benefited, but it says a lot about him, and I think the world of him just from being around him and working with him, and he's been a great teammate, and I think he's brought a lot to the team.
Knowing that this could be sort of a free agent debut for him, do you have to address that with him? Keep him focused on the game?
I don't look at it like that. I think that people in our league know, and certainly saw in the preseason, the only evaluation that really teams needed were how healthy is he, and that's been answered. So I think he's had, like I said, a good week, and he'll play well.
Do you see him as a big part of your future?
Yeah, we don't have to. Right now, that's getting ahead of it. So we'll see. We obviously feel highly about him, and yet, man, Drew's coming off another great year. So no announcements that way, and that's something that'll just take care of itself.
That's Coach Payton, y'all, breaking down his thoughts on the Week 17 matchup coming against the Carolina Panthers. Of course, Teddy Bridgewater, man, it's the subject of a lot of talking going on in the Saints camp, obviously, because he's going to get his first start, according to some reports we're getting from ESPN and others, are saying that he has the chills thinking about making his first start in nearly 3 years for the Saints. And, of course, it's a tryout situation for Teddy Bridgewater. And it's be really interesting to see Teddy Bridgewater get out there and command the Saints offense, because we could be very, very well looking at the future of the Saints quarterbacking situation with Teddy B. So with that said, and with the fact that the Carolina Panthers are sitting a lot of their core people down, we might see a few pieces here or there. What's your thinking on this game quickly before we go to break? Who wins this Carolina matchup? Like, I have to really ask you that.
You got to ask, man. You can't never be certain. But it's your birthday. That's what Teddy Bridgewater going to be out there saying, like he be telling them boys in practice. So them cornerbacks about to get that work in, because this is going to be the Teddy Bridgewater show. I think he going to come out and he going to show what he can do, man. I mean, you got a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback that's going to be playing against possible scrubs, because there's talks of the Panthers also resting their starters. I'm sure McCaffrey's going to play, like you mentioned. He has some things to play for individually. Get those 75 yards. He might play for a little while. Cam already sitting. Why would you play a guy like Luke Kuechly, who has concussion issues from time to time, like for nothing? So this is going to be a basic preseason game, but I think Teddy Bridgewater probably going to open a lot of eyes. He got a lot riding on this game. He can be the Saints potential franchise quarterback, or if he wants to, he can go chase that bag this coming off season, and he can go be a starting quarterback somewhere else. They got teams out there that need people, so look for him to have a real good game. I'd be surprised if he don't put up at least 2 touchdowns, 200 yards.
I'm anticipating the Saints to come up with this game. Might not be one that set the world on fire, but you know what? To close out the season against a divisional rival, you know, it's in the Superdome, and we have enough talent to actually win this game. I know Bridgewater being there. You got Traquan Smith and a few other pieces that's going to play in this game. I still say the Saints have better backups or whomever than that damn team do, and I expect the Saints to come up with a win, at least by 2 scores. That's my call on the game. Let's move into one more topic before we hit our break here. Benjamin Watson, man. Ben Watson was here for the first time with the Saints a few seasons ago. He went to Baltimore for a few seasons, came back to the Saints, and has contributed. In his 15th season, he said that this will be his last. And quote from Ben, he says, "You hope you get to exit on your own terms. You hope to exit with a great win." And end quote. That's what he was saying. But he's turned 30 early this month. He ranks 14 among the tight ends in NFL history with 528 career receptions for 5,856 yards. He has 44 touchdown catches. And he also was quoted as saying, "I knew coming into this year that it probably would be the last year." He also said, "And I think our approach was as a family that we're fortunate to come and play for another year. But you kind of know," said Watson, who spent 6 years with the Patriots, 3 with the Browns, 3 with the Saints, 2 with the Ravens before joining the Saints this offseason. He said, "It's been great to be a part of this team and have this sort of winning at this point in my career. But the injuries add up. The body struggles more and more, and it becomes evident it's time." Well, when they start talking like that, we're just glad that he chose to do it at the end of the year as opposed to the cornerback for the Indianapolis Colts who did it at the end of one of their games. So I guess when it's time to go, you go, right? But anyway, that'll do it for this segment. When we come back on the other side of the break, we'll finish up giving you some of the Saints signings and releases, the Sports Coma question of the day, and we have a Drew Brees interview and replies and stuff like that. All that on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Sports Coma. Big Q and the guys. Stay with us.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is the Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? It's Big Q talking at you from the PRO Media Network, letting you know that we're attempting to make things a lot simpler on our listeners and viewers of our mini podcast. So as a result, we're leasing down a lot of our shows to have their own channels for your convenience. Starting soon, shows like Ring King Box, LSU's Tough Tiger Talk, the Pelican Postgame Report will all have their own individual YouTube channels. So thank you for working with us during this process. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your donations and support for our platform as we continue to improve moving forward. Peace.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Hit the link below and rep the black and gold today. Who that?
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Follow the Sports Coma on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome back to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Previewing the Carolina Panthers and Saints going on in the Superdome coming up this Sunday. Of course, a lot of people not going to be in. Be interested to see Teddy Bridgewater and a few other players get their shine on as the Saints push up to try to get that great win, another win to get to 14-2 on the season. Just awesome, man. Of course, the Saints riding that 3-game winning streak after losing to the Dallas Cowboys after the cheating. Should I say they cheated the hell out of the Saints that game? We all know what time it is. But guess what? Like I told you then, and I told you now, the funny thing about it is I said I wanted the Dallas. Can I listen? Before I say this, I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan, all right? I just want to get that straight. But when they lost to the Dallas Cowboys, you said, you know what? I want that team again. And this time around, I want them in the Dome so that we can take their life out of them and beat them in the Superdome in their season, in the playoffs. Because they got a little buzz to them. But this time around, it won't be no guy standing 5 feet behind Sean Payton with a cell phone and a headset talking about he standing next to an NFL official waiting to give him a timeout or whatever. There won't be none of that going on, so we're going to see how they do then. But anyway, before we get to the rest of our breakdown, here's Drew Brees doing his interview telling you what he thinks about Week 17. Here we go.
Whatever, give more guys rest than you're going to be able to in a situation like this. But bottom line is you're still playing to win. You're still playing to play well and be efficient and do all those things, the right way. Even though, none of us really know how this is going to play out yet in regards to playing time. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we're putting a good game plan together, and we're going to play to win.
Drew, how does it affect you as a player when you see what the organization has done the last couple of, off seasons to kind of put you guys in this kind of position, whether it's getting to Mario or moving up the draft and Marcus Davenport, what they're willing to do?
Yeah, well, you're trying to put together the team that gives you the best chance to win and win a championship. And look at our draft classes over the last couple of years. Look at the free agent acquisitions we've made, and look at the development of those young players. And so Mickey Loomis and our Jeff Ireland, our entire scouting department deserves a ton of credit, for the research that they did in order to find the right guys. And then obviously draft day is always a crazy deal, not sure where guys are going to land or, who you're going to have an opportunity, to get. But our ability to go out and get not only good players, really good players, but great guys, great people, great teammates. I think that's what's allowed us to build the locker room that we have here. And there's a lot to be said for that. When you come to work every day and you come with a mindset and a work ethic that you don't want to let your teammates down because you care that much about them, that's the first step to being a great team.
Drew, does the franchise record for victories mean anything in this locker room? There's 114.
Yeah. I mean, you try to win them all,
but you don't get in this position.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You don't. But is the goal to win the most games in franchise history in the regular season, or is the goal to put ourselves in the best position come playoff time? So I think we know the answer to that question. again, none of us know how this is going to play out on Sunday. Of course, I think efforts are going to be made to, rest guys where appropriate, right? And make sure that they are as healthy as they can be for when we're playing for keeps, right? Because we can't move up or down in regards to our playoff position at this point. We're where we want to be, but we are going to play to win. So whoever is out there, whenever they're out there, we're playing to win. And to get 14 wins would be significant, yes.
That's Drew Brees chiming in with his thoughts about the Week 17 matchup coming against the Carolina Panthers. Also, some information to give you: the Saints signing and releasing Derek Newton, Cam Newton's brother. Saints decided to re-sign him and Cornelius Lucas. Now, of course, Cornelius Lucas is a New Orleans native. He went to Carr school in the New Orleans area. Of course, most of our people know what time that is. If you're from New Orleans, you know where the Carr is and where it's located at. But anyway, both of those offensive linemen were brung on, and to make room for them, the Saints released the defensive back and special teamer Josh Robinson, the defensive back that came over a few weeks ago, actually middle of the season, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played had some pretty decent plays on special teams. Saints decided to release him and defensive lineman Mitchell Lowen was released, and he was claimed by the Detroit Lions off the waiver wire today as well. So the Detroit Lions got a pretty decent D lineman in Mitchell Lowen. He just couldn't stay healthy here. And peace out to Mitchell Lowen, man. Hopes he has great fortune moving forward. It's just a guy named Tyler Stallworth was the one that kind of just blew in, man, and just kind of just swooped in and took that opportunity from him. Let's look at the Sports Coma question of the day, which it's a question here I want to ask all the great Saints minds out there and black and gold family out there. This is the Saints, the dealing with the Saints. Of course, there was an article I seen speaking about a linebacker that I've been big up on the show the entire season. You guys know who I'm talking about. The guy, since he's been here, he played damn near every snap. He was out there. The Saints signed this guy just for this reason. He's always ready to go. He makes impact plays every game. His name is Demario Davis. I talked about the Pro Bowl thing. I heard some of the people out there, the family, saying, well, Q, we know about Demario Davis. He had an outstanding season. A lot of people giving him credit to saying that he probably was the best under the line signing that nobody's really talking about. He definitely, in my opinion, I think he should get a Pro Bowl look. But like a lot of the fam out there says, I would still get a man a Pro Bowl look. It's just recognition, even though I'm pretty sure that he would trade that for a Super Bowl ring. Be that as it may, that sparked the question in my mind to ask the family, who is your dark horse player of the year for the New Orleans Saints? Who do you think it is? My pick off top is going to be Demario Davis. You'd asked me that question 2 weeks ago or a month ago, I would have said the same thing. Demario Davis is my pick. DC, Sports Coma question of the day, who is your dark horse Saints player of the year? Who you have?
Well, normally I'm supposed to say Alvin Kamara because he got snubbed.
He ain't no dark horse.
I know, but he ain't no dark horse. A lot of our guys are known on our team. But I'm going to go with a guy where nobody's really thinking about. Will Lutz, man. Okay. Will Lutz has had an amazing season. He's been money. I mean, from like 50 yards, The guy that got in the Pro Bowl over him, I don't even remember who he is. His stats better than him. Will Lutz basically, the only field goal I can remember him missing that broke his streak this last game was that blocked field goal. But other than that, man, the guy's been money. I think he's severely overlooked, and he's actually a true dark horse wearing black and gold.
Yeah, I think Will Lutz definitely should get more credit than what he is given. I mean, think about the kicker position for New Orleans for some time. I've been following the Saints for over 30 years. So under the Sean Payton era, prior to Will Lutz coming here, the Saints had 11 kickers in 11 seasons. So that would tell you the volatility of the kicker position. Here, he solved it with Will Lutz. Not Will Lutz, but Thomas Morstead. He solved the punter situation. Had a Hall of Fame punter and Thomas Morstead. He just needed to get the kicker. Well, like I always said, we should send flowers or a signed football or whatever to John Harbaugh, because he was the one responsible for sending Will Lutz down here, because Will Lutz was competing with arguably the best kicker in the league right now, and Justin Tucker couldn't beat him out, but it was close. So Harbaugh calls Sean Payton. He's really cool. They're really close. And said, I got somebody down here that might help you out. And ever since then, he came down and they signed him on the practice squad, then took him up the practice squad and signed him to the active. This guy was a saint from the dough. And he's been terrific ever since, especially this year. If you look at his statistics and what he's done, he has been solid this year. Very solid. Him and Morstead, arguably the best kick and punting tandem in the NFL. And that's why the Saints are achieving at a high level, sitting up there with a 13-2 record, first in the NFC South. Not just the offense right along, but the defense as well. Well, my dark horse pick and other players along that team has carried the Saints. There were 3 or 4 games, or several games in the season where the defense actually carried the offense. Think about that for a second, fam. Remember it was always the offense having to carry the entire team on his back. Well, we've seen games where the defense really stepped up and carried the offense. Really carried the offense. We tend to forget that because we become stuck in the moment, but you have to think back and remember that wasn't the case a few years ago when the Saints defense was really bad, and they were just bad in certain sections and areas they really need to be good at. But the reality situation is the defense really carried the team, and the special teams really stepped up as well. Now, of course, the kick return and punt returning game, we need a little help right there, but you got Taysom Hill kicking in. You got every now and then you see Alvin Kamara out there, so those guys are filling in. We get Ted Ginn back. He'll probably do some of those duties maybe. Hopefully we'll find a kick return, a punt return down the line. But my point is the Saints are playing as a collective team, special teams, defense, and offense. So big ups to them and what they're doing and moving the bar ahead. Now, Sports Coma question of the day is to you. Who is the Saints dark horse player of the year? Put it in the comments section below and let us know what's going on in your mind. Of course, we're going to read just a few questions from our previous Sports Coma question of the day. Some comments from the previous question. The Sports Coma question of the day. But DC, man, it's crazy, man. I'm thinking about a lot of things dealing with with the Saints. Like Drew Brees was talking, Sean Payton was talking about the Saints offense. And I said it earlier in the show, but I have to repeat it because it's really kicking in. The Saints Saints have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, family? Did you hear what I said? The Saints took care of business. They have nothing to play for. They have sealed, and see, this is really this won't hit you until after it's all said and done. But the Saints have nothing to play for in this game against Carolina Panthers. They're going to send all their meaningful people out there and put in their backups. They've sealed up the first round bye. I have to repeat this again. They sealed up the first round bye all the way up to the Super Bowl. So that means the Saints won't play outside for the rest of this season. They're going to play in a dome environment that's named Mercedes-Benz. Whether it's the Mercedes-Benz Dome or the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, whatever the hell they call their building out there in Atlanta, the Saints going to be playing in the Mercedes-Benz building, man. And the great part about it is so many great things about it is I'm looking at it along the trip. We're going to see Dallas. Listen, that's going to be the Sports Coma question of the next show, the recap of this Carolina game coming up on Sunday. And I'm going to ask so y'all can get y'all stuff ready right now. I'm going to ask y'all, who do you think the Saints going to see in the first round of the playoffs? I'm saying I want Dallas because of that cheatiness they did out there in Jerry's world. And the Saints, man, this whole year it's been revenge against Minnesota. Revenge against what Tampa Bay did. Revenge against the Baltimore Ravens. The Falcons. I mean, one after the other. The Rams against the Rams. Remember what they did last year out there in L.A. Revenge. We're not done yet revenging. We got some avenging to do, too, because we got to take on Dallas coming up in that divisional matchup, and I hope they get through. DC, thoughts on what I just said here?
I'm going to take the other route, man. I don't think we really could go wrong. Even if Dallas don't get through, guess who you looking at else coming up here? Minnesota. So who you want, pick your poison, baby. Either way it go, it's revenge. We gon' get it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be highly motivated to play that first game, home cooking, as you said, the road to the Super Bowl goes through New Orleans and the NFC. So I don't see how they won't be up for this game. You know, I mean, we definitely don't have anything to play for in this game coming up. Our bench people do. This is a mini Super Bowl for them. Teddy Bridgewater probably can't sleep. So our whole team is a true unit. And I think you're going to see that when they play the Panthers this Sunday, because I think our second unit is actually going to be impressive. I'm getting nostalgic, getting reminiscent of the days of Chase Daniels here with in the preseason, us putting up 35 points and whatnot. Maybe we don't have that type of game Sunday. Maybe we do. But nonetheless, whatever we do Sunday, we will get to avenge our death against the Vikings or our, loss against Dallas, which I don't even think we was fully trying all that hard. I mean, people seeing our plays and stuff, think Sean Payton put the good plays up after he realized that. So we will get some revenge. And I'm looking forward to it, but got to wait 2 whole more weeks, y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be something, man, and it's eagerly anticipating a lot of good football in between. Let's get to some of these comments on the previous question. We asked a question of the day, which was about Ted Ginn Jr. Does he solve all of the Saints? Does he solve the offensive problems the Saints were having prior to him coming back? Ted Ginn has the speed, veteran wide receiver, takes the top off. Drew Brees trusts him. Does he solve those issues the Saints have struggling in that offensive game? And this is some of the comments that we have. Sean C. chimes in. What's up, Sean? He says, what's up, Big Q and DC? Happy holidays to y'all, fam. Happy holidays to you, my man. Ted Ginn does open up the field, so that'll solve a number of problems. However, I disagree with the number of comments on the run. The reason we've been going away from it is because it's obvious our one dominant O-line is banged up. That can cause your running backs to get injured. Once we get the O-line healthy, you'll see the run come back for the playoff football. Thank you, Sean. Real smart comment as usual, my man. Absolutely right. We had problems with the O-line. We had a couple of times when you had Clapp came in. Will Clapp came in, played a few times. You had to shift Andrews from guard to outside to tackle. Teron Armstead in and out of the lineup. Larry Warford had a little issue. Max Unger had got, helmet to helmet. He had got a little concussion there. So you're absolutely right. That'll definitely impact what you're trying to do offensively, protection schemes, running the football, stuff like that. So thanks for the comment, Sean. Jerome Popera chimes in. What's up, Jerome? He says, think about this. If the Saints lose that garbage game next week against the Panthers, then they would end up with the same record, 13-3, that they had in 2009, and will have lost to the same 3 teams they lost to in 2009 and won the Super Bowl. Crazy, right? That is absolutely crazy. Isn't that amazing? Didn't even think about that. Thanks for that comment, Jerome. He also has crazy, right? Destiny, perhaps. What would even be even more crazy if the Saints would end up playing and beating the Colts again in the Super Bowl? Who that? Go Saints. That would be crazy, right? That would be totally insane, man, for them. Losing to the same 3 teams they lost to the 2009 Panthers, Cowboys, and I forgot the other team that they lost to that year. But then the Colts are relevant in the AFC side of the playoffs. So that would be crazy, man. Yeah. That'd be really spooky too. That'd be really kind of eerie, man. But if that happens, that's definitely destiny in my book. Brandon Christianry says, what's up, Brandon? He says, I love our defense. We're all very well-rounded. Who that to you, Brandon? Thanks for the comment. John Lister chimes in. What's up, John? John says, man, I've been waiting all summer for this game to see how Marshawn will play against AB and see how Mike Thomas will show up against the best wide receiver. Man, old boy is sick with it out here. The offense is back. We had Ginn and Armstead back. We are straight now. And, of course, that's some of the comments from John. He chiming in. We're kind of slacking on time. But thanks for the comment, John. Appreciate you. Lakeisha Smith says, we believe that no against the. Big ups to you, Keisha. She says, who that to you? We are who that back right at you, Keisha. Thank you. DJ Austin, what's up, DJ? DJ chiming in, man. He says, yes, because if it wasn't for him and that big catch to save the fourth quarter drive, for MT touchdown, we would have won this game. But I work at the game, and I was like, I called the turnover when he fumbled the ball. So who that said they're going to beat them Saints? I said 14-2. We're going to kill those Panthers. Thank you, DJ. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, my man, as always. And just to make mention on that great catch, you're absolutely right. Ted Ginn got behind the defense and just settled in. And that's something that I said in the previous shows about Ted Ginn having a major case of the dropsies. Remember when that was his sticking point against when he played for the Dolphins, when he played for the 49ers. Ted Ginn Jr. was known to be a guy that dropped the ball. He was like an upgraded version of Devery Henderson. He was not very good. He wasn't a good catcher of the ball. But since he went to Carolina, remember that time he spent that time in Carolina, then ultimately when he come here, Ted Ginn has really focused on being a better catcher of the ball, and he still have a lot of that world-class speed that's helping him out, too.
Toe drag swag. Can't forget that.
He did have the toe drags in there, made some serious catches that help keep the offense moving along. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, my friend. Appreciate the comment, DJ. That was real smart as well, and big ups to you, my friend. Marvin Norman chiming in. He says, struggling and stammering, and he likes that comment. Thank you, Marvin, man. Keep chiming in, keep commenting. But you know what, man? That's what we're going to talk about dealing with a lot of stuff dealing with the Saints, man. It's the fact that this is like the man said, this might be a year of destiny, like Jerome made comment. Jerome put up there. It could be. But the reality of this situation at the end of the day is that the Saints have set themselves up in a supreme position to win the Super Bowl. First seed in the playoffs, NFC side. Home field throughout the playoffs. You think you're going to come into the New Orleans Superdome and beat the Saints in the Superdome? Think again. Toughest place to play in the NFL. Up there with places like KC, which they're half a team now, much on defense. But the Saints, man, I told you, the Saints team this year is on a revenge tour, and it won't finish until they get the ultimate prize that they were denied in Minnesota. Won't happen this year. This team is focused and they're ready. They've been ready for this moment. That'll do it for the show. Thank you for joining us on the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. As always, if you enjoy the show, you can share it on your social media feed. Feel free to share it. Give it on out there to your Saints forums, everywhere y'all guys go, whether it's Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, Pinterest, I don't care, whatever it is, Snapchat, put it out there, help your boys out. Also, you can donate at patreon.com/the PRO Media Network, and you can also join our social media families, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, all that stuff. And the links are in the description section below. So for me and DC, thank you for joining us tonight. Peace.
Perfect.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Thank you for listening to the Pro Media Network, who provides hours and hours of free edutainment to you and yours. If you are benefiting positively from our content, please donate to help us grow our platform by going to www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. That's www.patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, and support the true independent artists.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. T-Box temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With T-Box, shopping for fresh, loose-leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out tbox.com. That's right, tbox.com. Check the link in the description section below. NewFrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. NewFrog.com has up to 70% off on some products, and you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. NewFrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Vapor DNA is the absolute premier online vape store, offering an industry-leading selection of e-cigarettes, e-liquids, and accessories. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service team is always ready to provide the best customer service experience to ensure you find what you're looking for. We guarantee our vaping gear shop products to be 100% genuine and the lowest price. We are so confident in our selection and our customer service. We will offer our customers a 45-day refund policy. That's right, a 45-day refund policy. We are proud of this offer for 3 simple reasons: quality, selection, and price. And that is the reason you should choose Vapor DNA for all your vaping needs. That's www.vapordna.com. Again, that's www.vapordna.com.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What's up, sports world? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share, and help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.